Hello again, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to our class. Thank you for showing up. Everybody here is used to oils and knows the routine, right? Renee, can you tell us where you're joining us from? If you could unmute and let us know.
San Antonio.
Oh, awesome. San Antonio. Very good. Okay. So welcome to today's class. If you are the type of person that wants to create a healthy lifestyle with doTERRA, then you're in the right place, because every Friday I was opening up my Zoom to talk about how to create a healthy lifestyle. But this is the last Friday that I'm going to do it. Moving on is going to be on the last Monday of every month. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but watch my Instagram for official announcements on that major change, okay? So today we're here to talk about what to do when you are sick and miserable. When you get really sick, you're just miserable, right? So the invitation said from miserable to manageable, because even though we live a healthy lifestyle, we take great vitamins, we oil up, sometimes we still get sick. So if you have suggestions on what you have experienced, drop those in the chat. Let's share with each other. I have a ton of information to throw at you pretty quickly today, but I would like to see if I could learn a few new tricks from you guys, okay? So on average, adults get sick with a cold or flu 2 to 5 times a year. So where do you fall in that category? Colds, flus, RSV, and COVID are viruses that tend to peak in the winter months. And doctors consider the period from October to March to be the cold and flu season. So a lot of people in my area are down with something, and it's pretty intense. So what is the typical treatment? Anybody unmute yourself and just let me know what's on the top of your head. What's the typical treatment for cold, flu, RSV, COVID, that kind of thing?
The Exorcist.
Oh,
I would say typical stuff is Tylenol, Advil, Benadryl, um, you know, things for cough, over the counter medications typically.
yes, people go straight to a drugstore and start buying up over the counter things. And then if that doesn't work, it gets even worse. And then they go to the doctor, right? Well, have you ever heard of the word antimicrobials? Antimicrobials even include antibiotics, antivirals, antifungals, and antiparasitic synthetic medications, medicines to prevent and treat infectious diseases, right? So there is an antimicrobial resistance taking place, a very strong resistance. So this occurs when bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites no longer respond to medicines, right? And so as a result of drug resistance, antibiotics and other antimicrobial medicines become ineffective and infections become difficult or even impossible to treat, making you absolutely miserable and a lot of times increasing the risk of disease spread because people still have to function even though they're not as sick as they were like 3 days ago, right? They go out into the public and they're like, I still have to function, but I'm not totally over it. So the big question is, are we left hopeless? And then the next question is there a better way? Okay. So in doTERRA, we already know the answers. We are not left hopeless because our oils can help us manage, treat, prevent, even help eliminate all types of issues, right? And so this is the better way. So I'm going to just start naming off a bunch of oils that came to my mind when I was formulating this outline. First and foremost that came to my mind was Spanish sage. If you do not have this somewhat new oil in your collection, highly recommend getting your hands on it. Spanish sage. I also thought of Recharge, which is our electrolyte. Comes in 2 flavors. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and make a few people co-host so that you can help me out there. Tiana and Joan, I made you guys co-host, okay? Just in case. Hi, Aurora. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Crystal. Welcome. So, okay, Spanish sage, recharge for electrolyte hydration, right? Shinrin Yoku, Ravensara. That is a single oil that's found in our blend Breathe. Okay. Laurel leaf is another single oil. They come in 5 ml bottles and they're periodically available as a promotion. So if you have those in your collection and you don't know what to use them for, pull those out when you get sick because they will offer relief. Eucalyptus is at the top of my chart as well. A little bit on the shower floor with hot steam water helps open up the sinuses. Of course, we can do an aroma touch treatment or a Symphony of the Cells infectious disease treatment, right? How about On Guard, right? That's mostly what people think of for colds, viruses, flus. On Guard on the bottom of your feet before you go to sleep is preventive care. But then we have the whole range of On Guard products to implement when we are sick. And I would say up your oil usage when you get sick. I know some of my customers use their oils maybe once, twice, 3 times a day, but when you're sick, I recommend like every hour, every 2 hours, putting something on. Your body definitely needs it. Our On Guard soft gels have black pepper and melissa inside of them, so those 2 oils offer a lot of relief. The On Guard, where did I got it. The On Guard mouthwash is a must when you are sick. Gargle, swallow, swish your mouth. This would definitely help kill a lot of bacteria. Arbor Vitae is my personal On Guard. I mix the 2 when I'm sick. Peppermint beadlets are great for occasional headaches, helping to clear the sinuses, right? What about some other supplements? Terrazyme to help you eliminate waste product, right? Think about that as well. Somebody else give me a few ideas of different oils that they use when they get sick.
When I get sick, oregano has been a heavy hitter on the bottom of the feet.
Yeah,
It's helpful.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I don't have oregano on my list. But that's because oregano is very hot for me. I don't like the smell, so I don't usually go to it. But everybody's different, right? And we have a variety of things to choose from. My chiropractor would say oregano is the first oil that you should put in a hot cup of water and just put your face over it and breathe in the steam. It kills all the germs in your mucosal lining and more. So Restore is a supplement that helps our gut microbiome, which often gets neglected when you have a cold or a flu, because most people are focused on respiratory and upper body things, right? Vetiver, Serenity. How about the Breathe drops? The Breathe cough drops. I'm not even through with my list, right? And so we have a lot of different things within doTERRA. Tea tree is high antiviral. The mix of tea tree and oregano together, you have antiviral, antibacterial properties. You can replace any antibiotics with just those 2 oils alone. Manuka is like tea tree, but on steroids. It is sold in the New Zealand market, so we don't get it very often. Or maybe we do have it for sale now. I can't remember. But if you can get your hands on that one, that comes from a different market. Yarrow Palm capsules. Is anybody familiar with those? That has zinc, vitamin C. We haven't done a class about those. Those are considered mostly for beautification from the inside out for skin, but they're also really good and highly recommended while you are sick. Here's one oil that you might not have because it did come in the Ancient Oils kit, but hyssop is really good for congestion, and we do sell that now in a 5 ml. Lemon eucalyptus is also considered an expectorant, and then Air X is fantastic when you are congested. Okay? So those are just some of the products that we have. Added to that, lifestyle changes, right? I think it's important to realize that when we get really sick, mindset matters. It is our fault that we get sick, even though it could be from seasonal allergies or being in a room full of people. If we take responsibility and say, okay, well, I've let it get this bad, but now I'm going to forgive myself and move on to treating myself and being kind and compassionate and doing what I know I need to do, which may be eliminating sugar. It may be getting more rest. It may be staying home from maybe a concert or some other activity that you committed yourself to, right? Another thing some people don't realize that is very important when we are not feeling good is exercise. So when I say exercise, I don't necessarily mean pushing yourself to the limit or weightlifting. I'm simply referring to moving your body to increase circulation. Even if you're laying in bed, you could flex your feet, point your toes, you could rotate your ankles. You could literally help your body circulate blood, energy, waste products while you are sedative. Okay? So you can put your arms out, you could shrug your shoulders, even trying to do breathing exercises is moving your diaphragm, which is going to help expand your rib cage from your pubic, from your pelvis, right? So lots of body movement, even though we're sick, can be helpful. Hydration is important, so lots of hot tea, cardamom, peppermint, oregano, tea tree. You can make yourself the Flume capsules. If somebody wants to drop that in the chat, the recipe, I think it's anywhere from 4 to 5 oils in an empty gel capsule. Make a few of those and pop them all day long. You can do that. The oils help your body come into balance, right? So they're going to help your body do what it needs to do, whether it be go to sleep, whether it be get a little bit more exercise. Some of us here also like to go and seek help from naturopathic doctors or functional medicine doctors or kinesiologists. If you know how to muscle test, you can literally ask your body, what do I need? What oil do I need? How many drops do I need, right? Of course, we don't want to forget about grounding and vitamin D, sitting out in the sunshine for a little while if you can, putting your feet on the ground, okay? Those of us here who do that feel an energy shift, right? And if you can't put your feet on the ground outside, then there are other things that you can do to be in nature a little bit more. So make sure there's plants inside your bedroom. You can even put leaves on your body. That may sound crazy, but I do some crazy things when I really, really get sick because I don't like being sick. And I'm just like, okay, You are in my body. I like literally talk to the virus. I'm like, you are in my body. I allowed you to get in my body, and now is the time to exit. Thank you for being here, but it's time to go. So then I'll tap. A lot of us do tapping, right? And we say an affirmation. Let's see, what else? Ice and heat. What's the benefit to those things when we are sick? Taking a really hot shower and then allowing your body to get chilled can increase circulation, thus moving things around, right? Thank you, girls, for putting things in the chat. The Flume recipe, I see it going there. So the contrast between ice and heat can drastically affect you in a good way. It could eliminate a headache. It could open up a chest, a congestion, right? How about paying some attention to our lymphatic system? Putting our legs up on the wall, so all the blood falls the other way, right? People usually only do that when their feet are swollen or after they've traveled a little bit. But you can do something like that when you're sick, and it will drastically help shift things in your body. Let's see, hot steam showers. We mentioned that before. You can put a big pot on top of your stove with a lot of oils in it, and then make it boiled, and then take it off of the stove, maybe on your kitchen counter, and drape a towel over your head so that you're breathing in that steam. Paying attention to what you eat is also very important while you're sick. So think lots of different bone broth recipes are available, all types of soups, something gentle on the system, right? And then practical things that we can do that sometimes we forget is like changing the tip of our toothbrush or changing our pillowcase every night. So we're not sleeping on the same dirty pillowcase, right? Sometimes we don't even think about things like that because we're so sick. Now I'm going to move into mentioning oils according to their property, which means if you're looking for a decongestant, Robitussin is usually a decongestant at the supermarket, right? Over-the-counter drug. You can use oils such as basil, black spruce, cardamom, cassia, copaiba, cypress, eucalyptus, ginger, or turmeric. You could use one, you could blend two together, you could make your own concoction, you could play with it. You have a lot of things to work with. How about if you're looking for an expectorant? There's a lot of oils in the book that fall under this category. So arbor vitae, basil, black pepper, black spruce, cedar wood, clove is a really good strong one. Highly recommend diluting that with a little bit of coconut oil. Try that on your chest with a hot compress on top, and it will offer a lot of comfort. All of these oils are safe to use on children, teenagers, adults, senior citizens, and even our pets. How about frankincense? I don't think I've said frankincense yet, right? And you could use all these oils in 3 ways: aromatically, topically, and internally. Highly recommend that you use it all 3 ways when you're really sick. Don't just put it in your diffuser and expect yourself to get better, because those oils need to be on you and in you in order to fight things off. Myrrh, marjoram, lemon eucalyptus, rosemary, Siberian fir. Siberian fir is one of my favorites. I love the smell. How about antispasmatic? You know when you have that cough that just won't stop? Do we have oils for that? How about blue tansy? Don't forget about that powerful oil in a 5 ml. It is very strong, so you only need a little bit. It's not like, lemon or Siberian fir, where I usually use like 3 or 4 drops at a time. Antispasmatic, blue tansy, clary sage, Litsea. Litsea is very, very strong. Roman chamomile, even tangerine was in the book. Okay. I don't know why it falls under the antispasmodic out of all of the citrus, but tangerine is a beautiful oil. So try to remember that one. Okay, how about the property mucolic? Do you know what that means? Mucolic. It's all things mucus, everywhere in the body, right? Medications that help thin and loosen mucus, make it easier to cough up, are considered mucolic medications, or that word, right? But we have oils that fall in that category too. Basil, cardamom, cedarwood, cinnamon bark. Cinnamon bark and lemon in a cup of hot water is very comforting when you get really sick. And cinnamon and cassia on the bottom of your feet can actually get rid of the chills. My mom uses it with a hot rice pack over her shoulders sometimes. Clary sage, copious, copaiba, cypress, fennel, helichrysum, lemon, myrrh, sandalwood, tangerine, and yarrow palm. Okay, how about steroidal properties or oils with that property? These are what I came up with. Basil, birch. So say you have, the doctor wants to prescribe a steroid and an antispasmodic medication. Well, you can go to the book and you can look up those two properties and you could pick an oil instead of a medication that he might prescribe. So basil, birch, cedarwood, clove, fennel, patchouli, rosemary, and thyme. And again, like I said, using them all three ways when you're sick is very important, and you use them more often than you would otherwise, okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to take you to the Essential Life book. And these are some protocols that you could actually follow. If you have the paper copy of the book, you could look it up under respiratory. If you have the virtual copy of the book, you could look it up under the same title, respiratory. But this is my virtual copy, and these are ultimate respiratory protection programs. So there's a mix between supplements and oils. You have to use both of them, okay? Those of us who are on the new VMG are getting great nutrition. And then we add other things onto it when we actually get sick, right? So respiratory, targeted support, cleansing, you'll see some of the oils there that I already mentioned, Air X Breathe. But notice these are larger doses than we usually recommend. So 2 to 3 drops on the average is what I use when I make my own personal diffuser, natural diffuser. But this one is recommending 5 to 10 drops, at least 4 hours per day. Okay. And you'll see that some of these recipes are more drops in your diffuser and more drops taken internally. Immune targeted support, you can take internally 2 to 4 drops of those selected oils 2 to 4 times per day. Remember, the oils know what to do in your body. They help your body come into balance, and they're metabolized within a couple of hours. So you'll oil up and you'll feel good for a little while, and then you're going to start to like go down and feel bad again because you're working on getting rid of an infection or a virus, right, inside, and you're sick. So you'll feel a difference when you oil up heavily. And then your body's going to use all those oils and you'll start feeling like it's time to oil up again. So clarifying and detoxification, you can take Zendocrine. There's a lot more information here, but the allergy trio sometimes is helpful for brand new people who may just have gotten their kit and only have lemon, lavender, and peppermint, right? Those 3 oils together can do a lot. Notice how it talks about gargling, clearing the air. For diffuser blends, you have a couple of choices here, 5 different recipes. The Douglas fir, wild orange, and eucalyptus looks really, really good. Then you have recipes for hot tea, sore throat, flu busting, lung stimulating smoothie. So you could actually add them to lots of different recipes as well. This immune boosting inhalation is a good one. It's pink pepper, peppermint, tea tree, and lavender in a diffuser. Then you can also make a chest buster rub. Add all of these oils in it, or some of them, with coconut oil and beeswax. So it is not a hopeless case when you get sick. And a lot of times there's no need to run to the doctor. We can manage on our own with our supply of oils at home. If you have a kit, then you have all that you need, right? Cough drops, cough syrup, you can make your own. Peppermint, lemon, lavender, frankincense, clove, wild orange, and cinnamon bark. And then there's a recipe for singers or speakers, voice recovery spray. Congestion relief steam blends. So again, using it in the diffuser, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, everywhere that you go. There is hope. We have lots to work with. And so now I'm going to open it up for your suggestions on how you guys use the oils while you're sick. Hey, Jerica. Hi, Bree. Good to see you.
Hello.
Okay, anybody want to share? Jerica, I'm curious. I'm going to put you on the spot. And of course, if you can't answer, that's totally fine. What do you do when you get really sick?
Well, first I scan myself to see like what's going on, whether it's, emotional or if it's actually something physical. I put Holiday Joy in the chat because whenever my family has gotten, that thing that's going around, Holiday Joy always comes up for us when we scan ourselves. So I will diffuse that, and then I go straight for the On Guard and oregano on the bottom of the feet. Depending on what it is, like say if it is that, I will do the Symphony of the Cells, the infectious disease protocol. So yeah, I kind of go to those things first.
Awesome. I'm glad you brought up the scanner. So if I'm assuming you're talking about like the iTovi or the Zyto scan.
Yeah, I have the iTovi.
Okay, perfect. So those of us who have the iTovi sometimes scan. It's a biofeedback machine. If you don't own one, somebody on this team that lives close to you might have one that you could use. It helps you know what oil to use in that time. And I am also happy that you brought up the emotional factor, because a lot of times our illness is, well, all of the times, our illness is based off of emotions as well. So that needs to be taken into consideration, right? And I think it's very interesting, the Holiday Joy. Have you read the emotional aspect of that oil, Jerica? Did you get a chance to do that?
Yeah, I read it in the past. I think it has something to do with family.
Probably.
Probably just sick of each other.
Oh, you're so cute. Yeah, like how to make peace again, right? Or how to be forgiving or something. Holiday Joy and Holiday Peace are very interesting oils. Lots of fir and tree oils in there, and they're just really, really pretty. So awesome. Anybody else want to share? Bree says in the chat, oh my God, Itovia is crazy accurate. Always shocks me how on point it is. Yeah. And so sometimes when we are in the thick of it and we're sick, we can't really think about what to do, right? Sometimes I have to call people and say, okay, this is what's happening and this is what I've done and it's not working. Do you have any other ideas? And I always forget to scan. And some of my friends are like, well, did you scan? I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, yes, I gotta go scan. So I'm glad you brought that up, Jerica. Thank you so much. All right, anybody else want to share anything that they were thinking about? Crystal.
Okay, I'm gonna fit this. Well, I had gone to a big convention a couple of months ago, and from that, I got COVID for the first time ever. But my own fault. I forgot to wear my mask. But I used oregano. I had the fever, and by the time I thought, I'm sitting there like some oil should be helping me do something. And I looked it up and it said oregano. And you know, it's a hot oil, but at that point you're kind of desperate. I put 2 drops in a cup of water and drank it. It was like drinking a liquid jalapeno. But I could tell the fever broke immediately. It took a while for it to come down, but I said, this stuff is great. What else can I do? And within 2 days, I was feeling great. I called work. Hey, can I come back in? They all said, no. I said, okay, I'll stay home for the week. But I'm surprised. Our oils are fabulous. That just blew my mind.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, it doesn't matter how long we've been using oils. Sometimes we're still surprised at how good they work, right? We go, whoa, that really worked. So they definitely lower the intensity and they definitely shorten the amount of time that an illness can last. And just for those 2 reasons alone, I feel like everybody needs oils in their home. So if you have anyone that you would like to share with, then just share samples, invite them to our classes so they can learn more, so they can have the proper tools when they get sick in their home to treat themselves. All right, everybody, it is our time. That is going to be a wrap for me. I appreciate your time and your energy. We will open up this Zoom again the last Monday of February, which is the 24th. So if you're not connected to me on Instagram or YouTube, then go ahead and refer to the person who invited you today so you can get the invitations, know what the topic is, and then meet up again so you can learn more. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.